Hello YouTube, it's Trust. Crazy. What the hell happened to the electricity? Whoa, that was weird. I think I need an electrician here. Anyways, it's Trust. Welcome to the 11th episode of the Bear Hug Radio. Today's guest on the Bear Hug Radio is the one, the only Parker. He is greatly loved by the OK Bear community. He is a great storyteller and a self-made successful business owner. His story is one of determination and character. Today we'll be talking about what makes him happy, his amazing story, his crypto wins and insight on crypto, and his convictions on the OK Bear. As always, the goal of this podcast is to get to know great people like Parker, learning from the OGs how they made their money and what mistakes they did that you should avoid. Listening to these interviews will greatly benefit you. I hope you like this episode. I want to start by saying welcome, Parker, to the Bear Hug Radio.
Yeah, glad to be here.
I wanted to start by saying I love your passion, your fiery personality. You wear your heart on your sleeve. You're always diving headfirst and ready for to war against the fudders. And yeah, man, you're just a really cool personality to be around. And everyone loves you in the OK Bears.
Well, man, that's like so cool that you say that to me, man. Like I don't feel like I'm anything or anybody any different than anybody else. Like you guys feel that way about me. That's cool. I hope I inspire people, man, because that's what it's about. Is inspiring other people to do great things. You know. So yeah, you brought tears to my eyes, dude. Thank you.
Honest, I'm just spitting truth, man. And again, yeah, you're really a well-loved person in the space and everything. So I'm glad you're on the podcast. We have time now. We're both very busy people, so we're not going to be diving into specifics of everything, personal information, but I still want to know about general things, maybe, because I think that you can inspire someone out there who's maybe in your field or who is doing a job or a business that wants to get into crypto and doesn't really know where to start. So what brings you joy outside of crypto?
Dirt bikes, motorcycles, straight up. Going fast, doing crazy things. I'm a thrill seeker type of guy. Like I jump out of airplanes for fun, you know. I like that kind of thing. I like ripping through the woods at 60, 70 mile an hour on the rear tire. Down through the trails, you know, like I'm that guy. You know, I like to do crazy shit.
So you've been skydiving a few times?
Yeah. I just went for my third jump. Yeah.
Oh, very cool, man. So what's the craziest thing you might have done, or the most thrill-seeking thing that you've ever done?
That's it. There's nothing that tops that, I don't think, on the planet. I mean, even ripping through the woods at 60, 70 miles an hour on a wheelie. Going down trails I'd never been down before, just fucking ripping. There's nothing like getting to an airplane door and everything in your mind and your body, like everything in your soul is saying, dude, get away from that door, you're gonna fall out and die, right? And you go, yeah, let's fucking do this, and you jump out of that damn place. Like that moment right there where you decide to get out is the most fucking mind-blowing thing on the planet you'll ever do, dude. There's nothing that tops it. There just isn't. I don't think there's anything that brings that feeling, that second when you're going, okay, here I go, and your whole everything is going, dude, get away from the door. And you're like, no, I'm fucking jumping out this thing. Yeah, and you do it. Like when you finally get out that door, it's the craziest fucking feeling you'll ever feel in your life, dude.
How long is the jump though, from like the plane to the floor? Like how long do you, because I've never done it personally. I've always wanted to try it, but like how long is like your gut into your throat, you know? Like how long do you get that pull in, or like is it not like that at all?
No, so I thought the same thing before I ever did my first jump. I figured when you go over a hill in the road, you know, like if it makes that your tummy kind of go up and down, make it, you know, like that feeling when you drop,
like a roller coaster, basically.
Yeah, roller coaster, same thing. Yep. No, it doesn't happen. It's dude, your whole mind is like, so the first time I jumped, I really don't remember it because my mind was like in shock. and it was scattering for information. You know what I mean? Like it was that it's never seen or been or dealt with before. The second time I jumped, I got to enjoy it because I knew what to expect. And this time I just jumped a couple like a month ago or two. That I was really able to enjoy it this third time because I wasn't, you know, my mind didn't go into a shock state. It's kind of hard to explain, but yeah, no tummy feeling. We had a 40-second free fall, and then it was once the chute goes, it's about a 15-minute parachute ride down, 10 to 15 minutes or so.
Wow, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, we were doing flips, dude. He let me take the chute. He put the chute in my hands, like right at the base. Like, you want to fly this thing? I'm like, hell yeah. He's like, reach out and grab these ropes. He's like, you want to do some flips? I said, yep. Of course I want to do some flips. I just jumped out of an airplane. What do you think? And he said, all right, let's do some flips. And he told me how to pull on the rope. And he's like, pull into this hard. And yeah, don't let go until I tell you, you know. Yeah, so it was cool. We were doing flips. Matter of fact, I jumped out. There was two of us that went up. I jumped out second, and I hit the ground first because when you do the flips, when you slingshot around like that, it slings you back to the earth faster. So I ended up passing them, and I landed on the ground before them, and they jumped out first. So because I had done so many flips, you lose airtime because it slingshots you like back down to the earth. When it slings you around when you do a complete flip. It slingshots you back to the earth. When you come back around towards the earth, it slingshots you down. So I beat the person that jumped before me down to the ground. Way before them, like 30 seconds maybe. I beat that. I can still see them up there just floating.
Is it because you're heavier, or was it really because of the flips?
It was definitely because of the flips. No question. You can feel it slingshot you. I mean, there's no question. You know what I mean? You can feel it whip you when you come around. It's like you're on the end of this chute, and it just slingshots you around in a circle. It's crazy. Like the chute really almost stays in one place, and you sling around, but on the end of it. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool.
Have you tried bungee jumping, and is it similar to skydiving, or you've never tried it?
I've never. It's probably one of the only things I've never done in my life is bungee jump, and I probably never will. Not interested.
Okay.
Yeah, and the reason is, and I know there's plenty of legit places out there, but you know those ropes and stuff, they cost a lot of money, you know, and they're supposed to be replaced every so many jumps, right? And if they don't do that, you take the risk of the rope snapping. I've watched video after video of them snapping. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to put my life in versus jumping out of an airplane. At least if our chute doesn't pull, we have another chute. You know, you have a backup chute, you know, to save your life. Those chances are a little better than a bungee cord, if you ask me. You know, matter of fact, the guy that when I jumped, I asked the guy, you know, how many have you ever had to pull your, you know, your spare chute, your backup chute? He's like, yeah. It's like about every 1,000 jumps is the average. And this guy's doing 30 jumps a day. And he's like, about 1,000 jumps. He says, the last time it happened, I was able to let go of the other chute and deploy the backup chute, emergency chute, and my client didn't even know it happened.
Wow.
Imagine that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, if you're used to it, you know, like the guy who does 30 jumps a day, basically, or a week or whatever.
He could probably take a nap and wake up at the right amount of feet and pull the chute, you know, like, yeah.
Oh, it's crazy. It's always something I've wanted to do and stuff.
Dude, it's the most thrill you'll ever get in your entire life. I saw there was an 89-year-old woman that jumped right before me. I couldn't believe it. 89 years old. She said, I needed something to feel alive again. I said, did that work? She says, oh, yeah, it worked.
That's crazy.
A little old lady, 89 years old, jumped out of an airplane. So cool.
Is there anything else on your bucket list or something that you really want to do?
Not really. Now it's more like I want to have like 1,000 acres in Alaska. You know, I want to have my house, you know, like just completely off the grid, no technology, no nothing, you know, and I want to be able to, something that you could, like, I want to buy one of those little mini helicopters, learn to fly a helicopter, and you can buy those little they call them mosquito helicopters. Someone in the Discord showed me them. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, holy shit, that's it right there. That's what I need. But or a plane, or you know, one of those pontoon planes. You know, but that's right. I want to be there like 6 months a year, just away from technology, away from it. I put my time in. I worked my ass off my entire life. I've worked 30 years, 7 days a week, and I'm not kidding. Since I was able to work, I work 7 days a week. 99% of the time, I work 7 days. this last year, I decided I'm gonna take my weekends off and not work so much. So I kind of cherry pick on my work now. Sometimes I work 7 days a week. Sometimes I work 3. So, but at least I'm taking that time for myself, and I'm trying to live a little bit because I worked my entire life.
I think that's important, man.
But I'm getting ready to retire, and I'm not even 50 yet. I'm almost 50.
Wow.
So and done. Like, could live a nice life, have a couple houses paid for, and toys all over, and
Can you share what kind of trade you're doing?
I'm an electrician. Yeah, I've been an electrician for 34 years. Yeah.
So when did you start? At what age did you start working?
I quit school at 16 years old, and then I got in the trade as an apprentice. I was making $6.50 an hour.
was that the minimum at the time? Yep. Wow.
I think that was high. I think the minimum was under that. Yeah. That was a lot of money.
Oh, that's crazy. And do you love your job, or are you kind of sick of it, or?
There's been times where I get sick of it, but usually now that I'm on my own, where I can pick and choose what I want to do, I kind of enjoy what I do, because, you work for somebody, even though I made $59 an hour working for somebody, that's not a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a lot of, it is for some people, but it's really not a lot of money if you want to overachieve in life. You want to have a really good life and have all the things you want and be able to live the back end of your life worry free. You got to go after it. You got to get that money, and invest that money. You got to make that money work for you. That's how you do it. So that's where I've done it. That's where I want to be. I want to be exactly where I'm at. And you know what? I had a downfall. I lost it all once when I went to prison. Don't forget. So I came out 2011 with nothing. Nothing. I had the state prison outfit they gave me on the way out the prison door. I didn't have a toothbrush. I didn't have deodorant. And matter of fact, I was washing my socks and my boxers in the sink at the shelter that they paroled me out to, so I would have a clean pair of boxers and socks to wear tomorrow. And you know what? I did it, and I didn't have any help from anybody. So it is possible to do.
So you came out and then started your own business?
No, I didn't come out and start my own business. I worked. I don't know if you heard some of my story. It's a long story. I don't know if you want to get into that now, but I told it on my podcast, the first episode, how I went to a chicken plant. I walked all the way up there. When they paroled me out to that shelter, next day I was like, they said to me, I said, what do you guys do for work? Like, oh, if you want to work, you got to go find a job. 6:00 in the morning, they kick you out the door. Right. So I'm like, all right, well, what do we do now? And I'm like, well, where's that chicken plant you guys were talking about? It's like, oh, dude, that's like way out in the middle of the night. I said, yeah, which way? Because he's like, what are you not going to walk there? I said, oh, yeah, I'm walking there, dude. Guarantee you. So he said, see that light right there? Take a right and you can't miss it. Huge plant. Pop up. You can't miss the damn thing. So I finally got there. It was 7 miles or 9 miles or something like that from the shelter that they paroled me to. And there was this like massive parking lot in the back where everyone parked. And then they had this stairwell that went up this huge hill. And at the top of the hill was the security gate to get in, right? So, but there was a trailer there outside that you could go into to fill out job applications. There was a woman in there. Matter of fact, her name was Laura. Mm-hmm. And she's like, yeah, fill out the application, this, that, and the other. And I gave it back to her, and she stuck it on this pile, dude, that was like a foot thick. And I'm like, wait a minute, it kind of looked like she did it quick. And I was like, that's not the pile for applications, right? She's like, yeah, that's the pile. We pull them one by one, first come, first serve. But don't worry, we turn a lot of jobs here, this, that, and the other. I'm like, yeah, I don't think you get it, lady. Like, you might as well just hire me now, because I'm going to be here every single day anyways, standing here telling you I need a job. And she laughed and whatever. So I got on my way and I stood outside. And just as I standing on those steps, the shift changed at this place. They had 12-hour shifts. And I noticed that some people were coming out with walkie-talkies on their shirts, clipped to their collar. And I was like, well, those must be managers or something. So I stopped every single one of them. Hey, look it, man, I got out of prison last night. Like, obviously I'm standing here in a state prison outfit. I needed a job yesterday. and they're okay. We'll take your name and this, that, and the other, and didn't really get anything from it. Finally, everybody's in the whole plant. Everybody's in, everybody's out, everybody's back in all the shifts, right? So I said, all right, well, I start walking out of the parking lot, and I get to this one side, almost the back side of the parking lot towards the road. It's just like, yeah, you know what, God, like, I know I did everything I could do for today. Like, I know that whatever, just trusted you got to provide a way for me, like, and let me tell you this part. I forgot to tell you, while I was there filling out an application, the van showed up that they told me only once a month the shelter would bring them there to fill out applications. And the van showed up and brought everybody up there after I had walked up there, and my staples out, sweating balls, blisters on my shoes from the prison shoes they gave me that were junk, right? Mm-hmm. And then when they left, they're like, aren't you coming back? I said, dude, I'm not leaving here till I get a job. And then that's when the shift changed. So they left. I stayed. And that's when the shift changed. I leave, and something tells me to turn around and look just one more time for shits and giggles. And way in the back parking lot, I could see this one person walking. And as they got closer to, and now the stairwell's in the middle of us two. So I'm out by the road there, past the stairwell in the back parking lot. He's walking towards that stairwell in the back. It's a massive, going up this hill to the security. And I start looking at him like, wow, is he wearing a walkie-talkie? Like, I could see the walkie-talkie. There you go. And I started running. I caught the guy at the very top of the stairs, like totally out of breath. I said, look, man, I've stopped every person in here. Like, I don't show up later, call it sick. I work harder than anybody else. I care if I'm struggling with chicken guts. He's like, you know what? He's like, I like your attitude. He's like, he's like, you're going to make it. He's like, I'm the plant manager, supervisor. He supervised the entire plant. So he says, if that lady in there, Laura, doesn't call you by the end of the day, I will. Give me a phone number. And the only thing I bought with a phone was with my $100 in the way out of the prison they gave me was a phone. I had $2 left after I bought the phone and the prepaid card, right? So because I knew if I got to get a job, I had to have a phone. So I couldn't buy boxes, I couldn't buy socks, I couldn't buy anything. I had to buy a phone, right? Because I needed a job. So anyways, I start walking out of the parking lot. My phone rings. It's the guy. He says, has she called you yet? I said, no, not yet. He's like, if she doesn't call you by the end of the day, this is my number. You call me back. And if you don't call me back, I'll call you back. Right? So I said, okay, yeah, great. So I start walking home. I get about halfway back and the phone rings. It's that lady, Laura. Do you want to come back right now and do an interview? I said, yep. So I walked all the way back. She's like, I can get you paid for 3 hours. You can do your orientation. And I'll get you on the books. And she gave me everything I needed. She gave me the boots, the smocks. She's like, normally you have to pay for this stuff, but I'm going to help you out because I know you just got out of prison. She's like, give him everything he needs. They hit this like store in there. Yeah, dude. And she walks up. She's like, just comp it. We're going to give him everything he needs. Give him everything. So, I mean, like, it was crazy, dude. They were standing there and they were like, you got a job there? I said, dude, I told you I wasn't leaving that fucking place till I got a job. What the fuck? I've been applying there for 9 months. I said, you didn't want it bad enough, dude. You didn't want it bad enough. It's all there is to it, So, yeah, that's just the start. That's just the start.
Yeah, well, that's a crazy story about the determination, man. And, like, when you set your mind to something, like, and you're like, I'm not getting out of there until I get a job. And, like, that's what people need, That's what people, like, they're not willing to go that extra step or that extra mile, Like,
you have to.
Exactly.
You have to, unless you want to work in your entire life away for somebody else and never getting anywhere. And I tell my guys all the time, if you want to have the things in life that most people will never have, you have to be willing to do the things in life that most people aren't willing to do.
Yeah.
Right? And that means going to work Saturday and Sunday. That means continuing to go to work Saturday and Sunday when you're not broke. When you're not broke, you still show up on Saturday and Sunday. And that's what it takes to overachieve. So if you aren't willing to do that, you probably have a mediocre life. I don't like mediocrity. I want to fucking kill it. And I did it. And I've only been out since 2011, standing there with my no toothbrush. You know what I mean? So, and I had zero help. Nobody ever offered me a couch to lay on, a nothing, zero. So it can be done. And I'm no greater than anybody anywhere. I'm not even close. So if I can do it, you fucking sure can do it. You got to want it bad enough. That's what it comes down to. How bad do you want it?
Definitely, man. And how long did you work there until you actually made it out?
So I worked there. I had to stay there on parole. I had 38 days. They teletyped me out the prison doors. One morning, they just came in and said, "Parker, wrap it up." And I was like, "Yeah, no, I don't think so. Because if a guard's got it out for you, or they'll put you off in another dorm right before you're supposed to leave, so you get in a fight and catch a new charge." So, I was like, "Yeah, I don't think so. You better go get the whole goon squad down here, because I got 38 days left, and I'm riding right there in that rack. Sorry to tell you." I said, "You guys put me in seg. I don't care. I'm not going to another pod and getting in a fist fight, because that's what happens."
Wow.
So I can't tell you the horror stories in prisons that I've seen. I've seen people raped and stabbed, stabbed like 100 times in a matter of 5 seconds. Over the neck, the back, I've seen people killed. I've seen it all, dude. Believe me, I've seen it all. People raped with 4 people sitting on the rail outside, ready to go in and rape him when he wakes back up because they knocked him out. Yeah, I've seen some bad stuff, dude.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, man. But yeah, from hearing you from the VC, I can tell you're a very successful person. You're a very good storyteller, that's for sure. I mean, but I'm just curious. Let's transition maybe to crypto.
Yeah.
What brought you to crypto?
So after I get out of prison, right, I obviously saw the smartphones. I hadn't seen a smartphone yet, didn't even know they existed. And when I went to prison, the cell phones were big and ugly, and I think they were just making the flip phones, like it was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But so I got turned on to the technology from a buddy of mine. I was like, "Dude, what is that thing?" He's like, "Phone, dude." I'm like, "Where are the buttons?" Like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Oh, it's a computer, it's a GPS, it's that." I'm like, "God, shut up." So anyways, I learned. He's like, "Oh yeah, dude." I'm like, "What is that you're on right there?" He's like, "It's called Facebook, like everybody you know's on there." I'm like, "Oh, cool." And he should turn me on to Facebook. So anyways, I found that a couple of years, about 4 or 5 years ago. Let me think. I forget when it was. I'm wicked bad with dates. But anyways, I decided that Facebook was taking up way too much of my time. Right, like every minute, and it was one morning I was sitting on my farmer's porch on a Sunday. I think it was Christmas or something, and I was having coffee, and that was at like 6:30 in the morning. And next thing I knew, it was 11:30, almost noon, and I didn't. And the time just flew by, and I was like, "Wow, I just wasted half of the entire day on Facebook." I'm like, "That's it. I'm shutting this stuff off." And so I shut all my social media off, and I've never looked back. So at that point, when I sat down to have my coffee and went to go hit that Facebook button, and it wasn't there, I said, now what am I going to do? So I actually started a garden. I did all these other things, worked on my bikes, did all these other things. But one of the things I did was start learning how to invest my money. Right. So, and so I literally Googled what's the best investment in 2020. But let me tell you this, I did have Bitcoin in 2015. I think it was 2015 because I was on a job and a guy pushed me into it. So I bought 10 Bitcoin for $6 back then. $60 a piece. Wow. So I bought 10. Yeah. So I bought 10 of those. Always had those. But when I Googled what's the best thing 2020, it came up for Bitcoin, and I was like, that's right, Bitcoin. Wow, it's been a little while. It's still here. So let me start it. So I started every day, the time that I would normally spend on Facebook, I started learning how to invest my money and started learning everything Web3. And the last thing I got into was NFTs, and that was so I got into so I bought Solana at 16 cents. I spent $1,600, got 10,000 of them.
Wow.
It took them at the top. Well, it was 260, and I knew the market was crashing, so at 245 I turned it all into USDC, and then I bought them all back at 26 and change, so like 270 grand, 268 grand or something like that out of that same USDC. So 2.45 I took, and then and that's just one of them. I've got Shiba Inu. I took 180,000 on, I think, $1,500. So
crazy though. That who who kind of guided you through it? Did you like
Nobody. Nobody.
you self-touch it? Like you self-taught everything?
Every last bit of it. Yeah. I self-taught. Yeah. I just started reading everything about crypto, and then I started taking courses, not taking courses, but watching videos online on how to read the graphs and, like just, everything, dude. I did it all myself.
That's crazy. Like what made you like feel like at 240 that you like should have sold, like, or transferred it?
It was 245. I knew the economy was going to crash because of the results of the presidential campaign in the United States and the way that the policies that were going to be implemented. I just knew it was coming. And you got to watch the Fed too. I mean, that's like one of the first things I've read. If you want to be a really good risky asset trader, watch the Fed. The Fed will tell you everything you need to know. So, for example, like when the COVID happened, what happened is the Fed pumps out all this money in stimulus, right? It's called quantitative easing. That was the word I was looking for. It's called quantitative easing. So when the Fed pumps all this money out into the economy, so people that didn't have money were now getting money, right? And then that money was being used to purchase goods. Now you have a demand on goods, which brings the inflation in, right? So when the Fed says, okay, enough's enough, now, so that's risk on. That means risky assets you buy, right? Because the Fed's buying bonds, they're doing all this stuff, right? They're giving all this stimulus. That's risk on for investors. That means they buy into risky assets. So they pump them, then they sell, right? And then what happens is the Fed goes, okay, put the brakes on. We have to undo everything we did. So we're going to raise interest rates back up, and we're not going to buy any bonds, right? And that alone right there is your sign that it's called quantitative tightening, right? So now risk off. And that's why you saw all the money that was in risky assets leave risky assets. When the Fed starts buying bonds again, you're going to watch money go right back into crypto. So all you have to do is watch the Fed, right back into risky assets. And that was one of the things I learned and read like first, and I really soaked it in. And it's been pretty true, man. I mean, I'm not going to lie. So when it was at 260 and it started coming down, I could read the graph. I'm like, here we go. It's going to come all the way back. It's going to retrace. And because it's risk off right now, people are going to pull their money. And they're going to work it all the way down, up and down, up and down, up and down, all the way down. But I took it at 2.45 and put it into USDC. And I said, if I lose a little bit, then I lose a little bit. I can buy it all back. You know what I mean? But if I'm losing $10,000 every time this thing goes down $1. You know what I mean? So for me, it was a fucking move I had to make to protect. So 2.45 million would have been down to nothing. I was still been in the plus because it's 30 something, right? So I only bought it 16 cents. But I have that in other wallets attached to other devices. I don't even so my wallets that I have about 180 grand of stuff in, and I'm down. I don't give a shit, dude. This is like stuff I play with now, because that's what I decide I'm gonna play. If I lose it, I lose it. If I don't, I don't. If I get it back, then great. I don't care. Like seriously, I don't care. My long-term strategy is set into a whole nother thing. Like not even connected to any of my devices. So,
yeah, definitely. I think it's smart though. Only a small part of your kind of savings is in crypto. Is that what you're kind of saying?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I got some annuities that I've had. I got some stocks like Tesla and stuff like that too. So
I'm just curious though. What did you do with your 10 Bitcoin that you had? Did you sell those when they went up, or are you still holding? Or
no. I turned that into USDC too. Everything else I've got, like all my all the stuff in my wallet, I just held basically. I didn't do anything with it. It's just like I don't care. You know what I mean? Like I don't give a shit what it is. So I have like a lot of Metaverse tokens. And I bought them low anyways. And like got some meme coins and Metaverse tokens and stuff like that. Yeah. So I don't. Those are. But my long-term holds, we had. I'm tell you, I didn't buy it. I got Avalanche. I got some Avalanche. I got the Bitcoin. And I got my Solana, and that's really all I've ever got into, dude. So I didn't stuff a lot of money in. My bears, I got about 50 grand into, though, worth of fucking Solana. 500 and something coins I got into my bear. My 3 bears.
How many bears do you have?
3. I bought them. I bought them when they were about $100, about $100 a coin.
Wow.
Well, like I said, this money in my wallet is like, If I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. I'm not like care. I don't care to do all the liquidating, put it into USD. So I don't care to do all that shit. Like I don't want to watch it. You know what I mean? So my couple of really good assets that I have, my Bitcoin and my Solana that I have in the other devices and stuff, that I did because it was easy. It was only a couple of coins, you know, that I turned into USDC, and then I took it all back, dude. I brought it all back, and the rest is still sitting in USDC. I haven't done anything with it yet, so I haven't taken it. I haven't taken any of it. I haven't taken $0 of my crypto.
Wow. What was your biggest win and biggest loss in crypto?
Solana was my biggest win. What's that one that? No, you know the other one there, where they lost their stable coin lost the peg, and he had it backed up by Bitcoin, 50 grand into Luna.
Oh my God, the one that crashed.
I don't like paying attention. Like I said, I have my long-term holds in another device, like I don't touch them, and then I have the shit in my wallet, which I don't care. It goes up, it goes down, I don't fucking care. It's not a loss until I sell it, right? So I just hold. I don't. But yeah, the Luna I had about 50 grand into, I think.
Oh my. Yeah, no, I definitely feel your pain in that one. Yeah, but that's what's cool about talking to people in crypto, and like where did they start, where are they now, and stuff like that. I know like everyone's down right now, but it's interesting because for me, I got into like Solana when it was at 240 also, you know, like in that area. So I was here for about a year and a half and stuff. But a lot of people I talked to were really early, you know, like even well, you were here at like 16 cents. That's amazing.
You didn't sell, did you? You didn't take your loss, did you?
No. I mean, yeah, but just hold.
Just hold. Solana. So I'm telling you right now, I called it a long time ago with Solana. I told all my friends, you need to buy this. None of them did. I became a millionaire. They sit there and cry. So Solana is going to go somewhere. I can guarantee you. It can do everything Ethereum can do, but it can do it faster. It can do it for 99% less energy to do it, and to bind, and it can and their fees are 0.0026. That's less than half a penny. So less than half a penny. You know what I mean? So yeah, they've got the only thing that they don't have is the security of the network. So they don't have a lot of nodes plugged in mining around the world, right? As much as Ethereum does. Their hash rate's higher. Right, so they're a more secure network. That's the only thing that Ethereum has right now. And even though they've changed over to a proof of stake network, it didn't lower the fees, and it was a 50-50 chance it was gonna. Even ETH stablecoin lost its peg during the process of ETH2, the merge, the fork, the hard fork, right? Yeah. So Solana would just wait. Solana, and they got a lot more layer 2, chains on there as well. But you wait, Solana. Let Solana build. Solana's going to be. It's not going to be a. It's not going to be. It's an altcoin. It's going to be. It's going to be right alongside Bitcoin within the next 5 to 10 years. I'm willing to bet. And a lot of investors think that Solana within 5 to 10 years will be $10,000 to $20,000 a coin, and I believe it.
Yeah, definitely. I think what basically ETH has is it was first to the market, like first one to be the biggest one, you know, like all in all, like we can see it, you know, like Solana has what it takes to like overtake it. It's just
they haven't beat, hands down. The only thing they don't have beat on is securing the network. They need more nodes, maybe need more miners. You know what I mean? So once they secure that network a little bit more, and a lot more layer 2 chains are going there, you're gonna see people coming. There's already people coming off of ETH coming just over the fees alone, over transaction fees. You know, because ETH fees are just ridiculous.
So with more security equals less speed and stuff like that. So like you always give away with something. So that's why if you're more decentralized, you're kind of like faster and stuff like that. Yeah. Or the opposite and stuff. You know what I mean? Yep. Yeah. So let's talk about the Bears. I mean, how strong is your conviction with the Bears?
No, you know, I'm fucking diehard, man. I'm 1,000 or 0. I don't care. I believe in this team. I believe in these founders. And there's nothing that'll teach. You know, let me tell you something. For some reason, you know, I run a business, and I can tell. I don't need anybody to sell me a story. I don't. I can tell within minutes, probably more things about you than you know about you, and just have that ability for some reason. And with these guys, and I could see it on a screen. Kais and Subi, they're genuine, man, and they are 100% about taking care of the people that have been there from the beginning. I can guarantee you. I'd bet my fucking soul on it. I bet my other wallet on it with all the Solana, because I just believe it. Huh?
You said you can bet all your Solana, all your soul on it.
Yep, I believe it. They will go down. They will die fighting if they do die, and I don't think they're gonna die. Don't even think they're close. I think we have bad market conditions. I think we had a lot of people that got into OK Bears that didn't have a lot of liquid, were able to mint. Right, they were just there for a mint. They flipped. A lot of flippers coming in, trying to just make a few dollars during this crappy market conditions. And you see the sentiment going down because people ain't happy, man. A lot of people do this stuff for a living. Like, that's how they're counting on to pay that's their bread and butter. That's how they pay their bills, and with sentiment down overall, people want to point fingers, right? Because it's not them that made bad decisions. They didn't take at the top. It's everybody else. So it's not OK Bears is going to feel. OK Bears is working, and now they're building out Web3. Like, they're going into Web3 like big time. So good IMG deals. Yeah, I think good. Dude, I'm actually working on a cartoon right now. I don't want to spill too much about it, but I wish I could tell you the storyline. It's a mind-blowing storyline, and it's very cool, and it's on brand. It's way on brand. I've been talking with Chef Ray about it. He knows some producers out in LA. My brother also, he's writing a movie right now, and he's actually sat down with some big-time producers, and so I got some strings I could pull on that end as well. He's already told me I'll help you any way I can. He's actually he knows Seth MacFarlane pretty well. He's worked with him. So.
Wow, that's really cool, man.
Yeah.
It's cool, like, because we're both builders, and we both have like we have a little bit of the background of what are people working on and stuff like that, the ideas. We get like a 10% of what's going on behind the scene, and I already knew that because I heard it in the VC and the builders you were talking about it. But so many other builders are working on their own projects, kind of like as a parallel to the OK Bears, and with everything that's going in the background with IMG and all these stuff, man. I'm so bullish. Yeah.
Dude, RLX joining him. He was Moonrank's developer, and he's a Web3 genius, bro. He was responsible for the mint, going smooth as pie. So they're heavily if that doesn't tell an investor that they're heavily focusing on Web3 when they hired the guy that created Moonrank, I think you probably better look a little closer. So that's a really positive thing, because Web3 is coming. We're real early. People, we're all early to this. People just held for another 5 or 10 years, like a normal investor would have to. Typically an investor buys a stock and they got to wait a couple of years, right? Or they're like day traders and they dump 10 million and it moves a penny and they make $100,000. You know what I mean, though. So most people had to wait 5 or 10 years. Like people that invested in internet stocks before there was an internet, like people that bought into Yahoo or Gmail before email was even a thing, right? Those people had to wait 10 years, but now they're sipping cool drinks by the pool somewhere, not worried about a fucking thing, right? So that's the problem with crypto. Everyone's heard the stories and they think there's a very few lucky people that get into this space that really yank the bank. Like, you just got to be at the right place at the right time, make the right financial decision. You got to do your research. And if you believe it, I'm into this other coin called Evergrow. I believe this coin is going to, they launched during the bear market and they're still here. And they've lost like 80 or 90% of their value, like every other coin, like Bitcoin and everything else, of their all-time highs. But you know what? This coin's gonna do that. They're building a museum, a virtual reality. So you put your VR headset on and you walk through this museum, like high-end museum, like crown lighting, really elegant, like museum. And JPEGs are in frames on the wall. And if you want to buy one, you can walk up to it in your avatar, and there's a kiosk in front of every one of them. And you walk up to it in virtual reality, and you connect your wallet and you make the purchase of the JPEG that's on the wall, the NFT that's on the wall, and displayed as like a painting in a gallery. It's fucking insane, dude. It's awesome. but they're doing huge things, and their buyback and burn percentages are huge. Like you make money just for having the coin. Like it's a good, awesome utility coin, and I think they're gonna do great things. I have like 100 million of them.
Wow.
I have 110 million of them. Yeah, so what they did was they started out, because their buyback and burn is ridiculous on every sale, and they buy back coins from so the money from the NFT sales, like in the gallery, from that, it's called I forget the name of it, but any money that's made from that, they use to buy back coins and burn them. So all the fees that are from buying NFTs in that museum, all those fees, all that money is used to buy back the coins from the exchanges and burn them. So they started out with 100 trillion, or 1 quadrillion or something like that, and then they burnt half of them the day they put the coin out. So they had 500 trillion. Now they're down to like 320 trillion. So it's going down. It's going down because they buy back and burn. They burn every transaction is burnt. All the coins are burnt. Like it's crazy with their. So yeah, and then they give you money just for having, I think, like 3% of all fees go back to holders just for having a coin. You have like a wallet on their website you connect to. It's crazy. But if I hold for 5 or 10 years, my point is, if you just, anything you're going to buy into now that has like a real promising future, if you just hold for 5 or 10 years, you'd be a fucking millionaire. You don't have to be a millionaire tonight. You know what I mean? You got to do your research, take your time, invest wisely, and sit back and just watch. That's what you do.
That's good advice, man.
Because the market's going to go up 1 million times and down 1 million times until this becomes, until it's broadly accepted and used everywhere, until crypto becomes just as commonplace as the internet in your hand. Until that happens, you're going to have some volatility. Until some regulations happen, you're going to have some volatility, right? But when it becomes mainstream, volatility will taper off, and all the gains will have been had. Mm-hmm. There won't be any. It'd be like buying internet stocks right now. You're not going to make any money buying into Yahoo right now. You know what I mean? But if you bought into it before there was an internet, you're a gazillionaire right now, right? So that's what you got to do, man. You just got to be patient, buy and hold. Take your conviction, the things you're convicted on, and buy them. And don't question, double take it. Just don't even look at it. Get away. Don't watch it. You can't watch because then you get panic selling and FOMO and all that other shit, right?
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's what I do. That's why I don't mess around with like my wallets. I don't care if they're up or down. Like, I don't give a shit. Dude, I put that money in there. It was considered gone as soon as it left my bank account. You know, so that's why, because I don't have time to watch. I just don't. You know, I don't. I run a business. I can't look at and watch it every day. You know, so I'm long. I just stay long on it. That's it. I just stay long on everything.
Did you set like a certain percentage? Like, okay, 10% is going to crypto or something?
No, I just bought what I believed in. And then I kind of put a hold on it. I was like, okay, that's enough. You know?
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to say like when enough is enough, or, you know, like for me, you know, like I'm saving money for my house and stuff like that. So a lot of my money is like in savings right now because I can't put it into something volatile.
No, smart. Yeah, smart.
So for me, like
I'm in a little different position though than you guys are. I make pretty good money. You know, like I don't even leave the door unless I'm going to do a service call at the minimum of $1,000. You know, most days I make 3, 5, sometimes 10. I just made 10 on Friday on a service I built one day, 10 grand, $9,700. You know what I mean? Last night I made $7,000 to change the piano because the guy wanted to pay double. I guess he didn't want me to come back today and do it. He wanted to do it in the middle of the night. So I said, "You can pay me double if you want me to do it in the middle of the night." He said, "Done. When you already get check." So.
Yeah, when they say it, man, because we were supposed to do it, we were supposed to talk last night, and then you're like, "Oh, I have to go on a call."
I knew what time it was already because we had a bunch of rain. I already knew it. The main breaker wasn't going back on, and it was arcing, and I knew they had water in the main. So I brought a panel. I had a panel. Obviously, I took a panel with me and breakers. I already knew what time it was. The power company was out there and said it wasn't on their end. It was the electrician, and they waited for me to get there to ask if I needed to have the meter unlocked and everything else, or cut it to a header head and everything else. But yeah, so I changed the panel, $7,000. The guy wrote me a check. I did it in 5 hours.
Yeah, I mean, when you have when you have the experience to do so, and like, yeah, that's what's really cool about that, man. But
yeah, and they were stoked with what I don't do shit work. I don't just slap things in. I do it right, you know. So when they come down and they see that, they go, okay, $7,000 well spent. like they know it's done right. I don't know if you've seen pictures of my work before, but I'm pretty anal, dude.
What I want to do is talk about the bare bottom.
Yeah,
So for
cool.
viewers out there that are new to the space, Parker every Sunday does a space on Twitter called the Bare Bottom. Can you talk to me about it?
Yeah.
Can you tell me what made you step out of your comfort zone and like decide to do this?
So, like this comes back to what you said to me when we first started. Yeah, you took my breath away. For my whole life, man, I've been a hard ass, like riding Harleys and just, pounding on heads and getting in fights everywhere. That's been me because that's kind of how I grew up. That's how I learned to deal with things. And when I came out of prison, I swore to God that I'd never end up back in a place like that. And so I decided to start changing my thought process, right? I figured if I keep doing the same things, I'm going to have the same results. So I got to change something. It's got to be my thought process. So I stopped punching on people and stopped being mean to people and I was an asshole, dude. You wouldn't have liked me 10 years ago. You just wouldn't. So that's what I did. And then so when I got into OK Bears, it actually, at first I was like, okay, well, I guess. Let me learn from these people. Like these people are so nice and so kind to each other, and so I just decided. I'm me inside. Like I'm a lover, man. You know what I mean? Like maybe a hard ass, but I'm a lover, dude. If I got love for you, I'll do anything for you. And I just don't give it out too freely. I do now a little bit more, but yeah. So OK Bears. When I started from the bare bottom, it was because. And I know that I've been down the drug road. I've been messed up in drug houses and gone to prison. I've been through it all, and I know how that feels. I know when your life feels empty, and it just feels like I've been on the verge of just, how can I hang myself today? Like, you know what I mean? Like I've been there many times, and I just decided that yeah, let's, like OK Bears Discord showed me that there's so much love out there. Like, why aren't I giving a little bit of love too? So, and that's what I decided, that if people can hear stories like mine, maybe they can be inspired and realize, fuck, dude, I've had the same exact thoughts that run through your head right now, whatever they could be. Trust me, suicide and all. I've had those thoughts, and now I've made it. So I've actually attempted it a few times, but I'm not going to get into that. But I'm still here. I'm still here. And if people can hear those stories of people that are thinking the same exact thoughts they could just hear that someone came out. They came out when I didn't think I could. I didn't know I could. Didn't think I could. I didn't know how I was gonna. Like, it can be done, and that may just save someone's life. You never know. You might say something in your story, and someone relates so much to it, and it just inspires them. They may be going home to kill themselves tonight. And that's why I want to start this podcast, was to maybe just help one person that's going through a hard time and let them know that there's people out there that have been exactly where you're at, but then they've been able to come through it, and we're still here, and we're all okay, right? So yeah, and that was why I wanted to do it, to be on, and it was on brand, and it was a perfect opportunity. My thing was, I was going to go help people in prison. I was going to go back to the youth prison camps. I've been waiting until I kind of got to a certain level of success before I can go back and say, this is what I did. I came right from that same suit you're wearing to where I am today. But it turned out I got into OK Bears, and I just thought, well, maybe God's opening this door for me, like to do this. Maybe this is what I'm supposed to do. Think about it. I have so much of a louder voice, and the entire world can hear those podcasts. And so I kind of looked at it like a blessing, and I jumped on it, man. So yeah, that's why that happened.
Yeah, definitely. Your story is very powerful, and I think anyone can benefit from hearing someone else's story, because a lot of people are feeling lost. They don't know what to do and stuff like that, and having someone talk about their story and what it goes through. Like right now, there's still a small cozy group right now. And I think if we push it out there more and more people get back during the bull market, when it comes back, a lot of people are going to be showing up more, maybe. I think now a lot of people are touching grass and away from crypto, but I think that every week it's just going to grow and grow. And that's my opinion. And I think it's going to help a lot of people.
Like, dude, that's awesome. That's the only reason I want to do it. I don't want anything else. If one day I get some feedback by somebody that says, hey, you know what? I heard some guy on your podcast say this, and it just totally changed my. That will be the ultimate reward for me.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm glad that I'm gonna be able to share my story also. I've never really done something like that.
I'm excited about it.
I think it's gonna be fun.
I think it's awesome. I hope people listen and can be inspired and maybe stand up and say enough's enough. If that guy can do it and the guy before him last week can do it, why can't I do it? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I hope. So yeah, I appreciate you coming on, and I appreciate your support as well. Thank you.
What I like ending the podcast with is who do you think should be the next guest? Like, who would you pay money, get your popcorn out, and listen to the whole thing?
Heist was one that I wanted to hear, and we heard that last week. I was really interested in hearing his story. I knew a little bit about he had some struggles, but I was super interested in hearing that story. Another person's story I would love to hear is that the girl that just got into she got a founder's coin, came into OK Bears. She goes by Snake NFT. I've been mentoring that girl. She's a young girl, and I've been kind of mentoring her, and I kind of steered her towards OK Bears, told her to come into the Discord and with a coin. You know, you could get it with a founder's coin. She just bought her bear today. She finally saved up and bought a bear. She has a very interesting story. She was on her own at a very young age. I would love to hear it. The problem is she speaks Russian, and she uses a translator to communicate with me. So I would love to hear her story. I think out of anybody. She's a young kid too.
Very cool, man. I think there's a lot of bears that are from around the world and not confident enough to go on a podcast and talk in English and stuff. So it's it's unfortunate, and I do understand. You know, it could be very shy to just not talk in your first language and stuff. But there are so many people with cool stories. I definitely will try to talk to her more. I'll try to get conversation.
She's so nice. Yeah, she's so nice, dude. She's so nice, and she needs that. She needs love just like everybody else, right? That's all I can say. She's a good person. She's such a good kid, man, and she deserves to have good people around her. That's all I can tell you. I do know a little bit about her story. She was on her own at a very young age, you know. So, yeah. I don't want to give her her story there. It's not my place to do it, but I would love to hear her story, her whole story. You know.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Parker. I'm gonna put the links in the description where you can find Parker's Twitter space. But thank you very much, and we'll talk soon.
Yeah. Hey, thanks a lot, Phil. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate everything you're doing too, man. Keep doing what you're doing, striving to succeed every day, killing it.
If you enjoyed the show, hit the like and the subscribe button, and use this link to watch the next episode. Peace.